and welcome to the first episode of Coding for Kids. I've been really waiting to make these episodes. Been really excited about it, and here we are starting. So, once again, put a comment in the video what you want to do in the next tutorial or just fun experiment I do. But today, I thought I'll start off simple, and I'll show the basics of Blender. I'm in 2.82 right now. You can use this in 2.8, 2.81, or 2.82. Everything works the same. But as you can see, I'm moving around my mouse right now. Yes, I am using a mouse for this. It's quite needed. If you don't have a mouse, don't be worried though. There's still ways. But as you can see, right now I'm moving, I'm rotating, I'm orbiting around the cube. What am I doing? I'm holding down, what am I doing is I am holding down the middle mouse button, which is the little wheelie thing on the mouse, and just dragging the mouse along. Okay, but, so now I can zoom in and out, and that is because I'm, turning the middle mouse button, the little wheelie thing, up and down. I'm like scrolling up with it and going down. There are alternatives to these, which I will explain. Yeah, but once again, so that's how you move. If you don't have a mouse, how you would zoom in, and you see this little button right here on the side that looks like a magnifying glass. What you would do is, so you would hold down that button with your mouse, and then what you would do is you just going to select, and you would move your finger, on the finger pad, whatever it's called, and move your finger up and down, and you can zoom in and out. It's a really cool way, I think. And how you would orbit is, you see the little thing right there. All you would do is you would once again go in select box, which is the little thing on the left, and all you would do is move it. You would move your finger around, and you can orbit. So I'm holding down the left finger pad button, and yeah, so then you can move around like this on the different axes. Okay, so as you can see, I'm still doing that. But what if you want? So here next, I'm gonna show how if you want to go on a an actual axis, not just go diagonal or in a weird spot. But so one more thing before I start that. So I'm just gonna move that cube. I'll show you how to move stuff. Oh, way over there. Let's say I want to get to that cube and drag it back. All I'm gonna do, it's really simple. I'm just gonna hold down shift. Well, you see it's way over there. All I'm gonna do is hold down shift. So make sure, if you're using a computer, hold down shift, then middle mouse button, and just drag your mouse along, and then you can get to where the cube is. Okay, but the alternative to this, the alternative to, I don't know what it's called, panning or something, I'll talk about that very soon, but, you saw it just, teleported back there. That's because I hit Control Z. That's, a simple undo button. You can also go into, edit, I think, up there, and you can just undo things. But remember, it's Control Z, so whenever you move something, you can always move it back. Okay, so now let's say, I'll show you how to pan. All you're gonna do is, you see that little hand on the side right there, where my mouse is? All you're gonna do, hold down the left mouse button, I think it's actually called the right, the one that you normally use, and just move your finger around. So yeah, you just hold down that little hand and move it around. And still going on with the moving around and the very basics, now I'm going to show you how to get on a certain axis, meaning a certain view, top, bottom, left, right. Okay, so there are two ways. You can use numpads, or so you see that little squiggly line on top of your keyboard? You're just going to hold that down like I'm doing here, and you can move your finger or your mouse depending on what you have around, and then let go or press the view you want to go. So right now I'm in top, and as you can see, the top isn't actually aligned with the cube. This happens a lot of the time when you're panning around using the shift middle mouse or the little hand. It happens a lot. You get out of view and then you end up just getting lost. All you have to do is find a certain view and keep doing it. So now I'm going in the right. I'm just going to keep moving it until I finally found the view I started with, or a view that I can orbit the cube. You can see it's still a little wonky. So, okay, I think that's good. I might do a little more. But also another way, alternative, if you have a numpad, some computers or laptops, all laptops don't, I think. I don't have one, so that's why I would use a squiggly line. But you can just hit numpad 1, then that brings you to the top, numpad 2, bottom. I'm not really sure because I don't have one, but they just bring you different views. And now I'm going to talk about you see that little thing that that's up there on the top left that's highlighted blue? This is called the select box. That's the default mode for this. And what I mean by mode is it just works like a normal select box. You can just click on stuff, highlight stuff. But if you hold down your left mouse button, that's actually called the right. The one you would use to click on normal things. That's what I'll call it. Then you can change. So you can see I'm showing you all the different ways. So I'm just holding down that button and letting go and pressing what I want. So I'm holding it down. There's a bunch of different cool things. They all work differently, but the next one here is kind of an unused one, especially for beginners. It is the pointer thing. I think it's called the pointer. And all you do is, so you just click on it. It's the second box. You click on it, and whenever you add an object, it goes to that little red and black circle thing. And yeah, so I'm adding a cone here, but if I were to move it somewhere, like somewhere else, then everything would move. Well, when you add an object, it would go in a different area. This works if this is used mostly when you're making a scene. But the next thing I'm doing right now is the moving around button. So this button is, I think it's just called the move button. It's the third one on the left. It's the third one that's highlighted blue. And I already showed this by moving the cube. But all you can do is just move things around like you would think. Then there's the rotate button where you can rotate things. And also when you're moving around, you can either click on the axes, which are the little arrows, or you can just click on the cube and then you can free move it. That's kind of hard though, because in certain views you can only move it in certain spots. So there's me using that, and I'm just pressing Control Z a few times to bring it back. And same with the rotate. If you just click on the cube and just hold your finger down or the mouse down, then you can rotate it like freely wherever you want it to go. And the next one is I just call it the size button. It changes the size and the shape of your cube. So I can make it big. I just press Control Z there to get it back to normal. By pressing the little arrow things, the red and blue and green arrows, which are all the different axes, Y, X, and Z, I can change the thickness, how tall it is, and everything about it. And then if I just click on that little circle, hold it down, I can change the size, as you saw at the start. And this next button, the transform button, you can do everything at once. I don't really know when you would really use this, but it's not really for beginners and stuff. It's kind of for more if you're doing advanced stuff and you want to get it done quickly. And then what I'm using here is the draw button. I'm not really sure what this is used for. I've never really needed to use it. I guess it's just drawing if you want to circle stuff. And the next one is the measuring. So if I want to measure how far the camera to the cube is, it would, I think that says 6.059 something like that. Yeah, and this is more used if you're 3D printing. You want everything the exact shape. Yeah, Blender is a modeling thing. It can be used as a game engine, but it's mostly modeling. And now we'll talk about all this over here. This is a texture. You can add a texture to it. You see on the right, the way right. All you have to do is if I go to, just go to a texture there. If I were to look up dirt or something, I could give the cube a dirt texture. But I'll be talking about more about that in a different episode, because I will be making a series, and I would do your comments. But if you guys have any comments like you want to know about this, feel very free to put that in the comments. This next one is just so I'm clicking on the light right now. I'm on the light, and I'm on the light and the cube right now. And yeah, I can. Then there's a light button. It's different when you have a cube. These two, not that important. But this one, I think it's this one. Yeah. That one was the physics that I just showed. If you want to do animation, which is gonna be the next episode, or maybe the third one. I think next I'll be talking about editing. But yeah, it's animation. And this one right here just changes, I'm clicking on the cube right now, so it changes the way of the cube, where I want to move it. It just changes all the settings on the way left. Then if I go back down to this one, I'm still on the right side. Instead of the light here, because I'm clicking on the cube this time, I can get all the properties of the cube. This one is more if you're modeling or animating, you're going to be using this. Yeah. And right here, this is just like the scenes. So if you make a little, like a background for a scene in the animation, you're going to be using this a lot. And it's more for if you're really advanced at animating and stuff and making backgrounds. It's not very much used for modeling. And right here, this is like the properties of the render, which isn't used that much. I don't use it that much. And this is more kind of like stuff for the render, stuff for the scene. And yeah, it's not, these stuff isn't used. It says more settings for the render. Editing a render will be the next episode. And the render is very important. As you can see, right now I'm in Eevee. You can switch that to cycles or workbench. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for all that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial for Blender. I hope if you guys are new to Blender, you're really understanding it a lot better, and you can make sense of it more. So anyways, I'm gonna be making a lot more episodes, but remember, the next video is all up to you. So get writing in the comments.